Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to today's Friday Reflections on this Friday, the 21st of February 2025. I hope you're well wherever you are tuning into this from. Today, I would like to read something from this wonderful book, Liberating the Soul, A Guide for Spiritual Growth, Volume 6, by Mawlana Shaykh Nazim Adil. And I'm going to be reading from page 88 of the book, respecting the personalities of others while rejecting their bad characteristics. It is important for everyone to know about mankind. There is a verse in the Quran about mankind, and for 40 years, Grand Sheikh was speaking most on that point to make people to take more care about mankind. So that's Grand Sheikh Abdullah Fayaz Dagestani, and the author is Mawlana Shaykh Nazim Adil, who is also Grand Sheikh now. First, you must know the value of mankind. You must know that you are a valuable creature in the divine presence. That is important. You must know it for yourself and also for everyone else. And it is clear that our value isn't according to our physical beings. We are 60 or 80 or 100 kilograms only, and our value isn't according to our bodies. Animals are heavier. They have more bones and flesh than us, and our bodies cannot be eaten after dying. If they were valuable, then they would sell the dead bodies. Therefore, our value isn't from our physical body, and it must be known what gives us value in the divine presence. Salam alaikum, Nida. Know for yourself and others as well. When a person knows his own value, he will give value to others. It is an order from Allah to know about yourself and others. You must know that we are all respected creatures in the divine presence. Allah Almighty created man and respected him. Whoever knows that he has been respected must know for what reasons mankind is held in respect by Allah. Allah Almighty created man, giving him from his divine attributes. There is a hadith that Allah created man like himself. That is something so difficult to understand, to think about. A man to be like his Lord. He means to say that he gave him something from divine attributes so that man could be his deputy. If man did not have his Lord's attributes, then he could not be a deputy of his Lord. The Prophet, peace be upon him, says that the way to know Allah is through knowledge of yourself. When understanding yourself, you may know about Allah. Grand Sheikh was always making association on this point. Not man, not woman, but mankind. Allah made man and woman on the same level so that they could reach an understanding of their Lord Almighty. Women can easily reach. They can quickly make a control on their hearts and inner life and will be open more easily. And the biggest sin in the divine presence is to put people down. When Allah respects his servants and we put them down, that is the biggest sin. So just to recap a few points here. Mawlana Shaykh Nazim is highlighting the importance that we must realize that we are all respected in the divine presence. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created all of humanity, all human beings, all human souls. Do we think that Allah didn't do that with purpose, that Allah doesn't care about us when Allah created us? Of course Allah created us. Of course Allah cares about us. We hold value. There is a verse in the Quran that Allah has honored all of the children of Adam. It's one that people would do well to remember. And it's important to understand this, because if I know that I am valued by Allah, and you know that you are valued by Allah, when you realize this, when you not just are saying it, but you really understand this in your heart, you understand Allah values the other person. The person that maybe you have an argument with, the person that maybe you have a problem with, Allah values them too. Allah values all human beings. So how can you mistreat people? How can you disrespect people? And this is why it's connected to this point that Mawlana makes. When Allah respects his servants and we put them down, that is the biggest sin. Because Allah respects people and Allah sees how we treat people. Then Mawlana says, you can reject bad characteristics. You mustn't accept bad characteristics. All are like the illnesses of people. You must take them away. As a surgeon does an operation, you must be able to take away these characteristics, but keep their personalities. Each one of mankind is a good person originally, but sometimes illness comes to them. When a person becomes ill, you don't kill them, but you give medicine to kill his illness. Important point, when people behaving badly, when people do things that we regard as evil, this is an illness of the soul. It's an illness of the soul, it's an illness of the heart, and an illness of the mind. Those people are not behaving normally because something is not right with them. Similarly, people don't behave normally when they are ill with other illnesses. Like if they have a very bad flu or pneumonia, they don't behave as they would otherwise. But we don't kill those people. We don't get rid of those people. We care about them. We care for them and do what we can to look after them and help them improve. Maulana said, prophets only do good operations on people's personalities, because all of us are invited to the divine presence, but people may be ill because of their egos. There must be an ego for everyone, to be like a horse to ride on. Without an ego, man would be tired, but he must have a horse to ride on. But you must lead your horse, not let your horse lead you. So here, Maulana is comparing the ego that we have, that I this, I that. I feel angry, I feel happy, I feel this I that we all have. This is given to us by Allah. It is not inherently evil, but it is just like when you have a horse to ride. You don't let the horse pull you along and lead you, otherwise you're going to end up terribly injured, maybe dead. But if you ride that horse can take you for miles and do so swiftly. Allah didn't give us anything that's inherently evil. But just like, people can act up. Our ego can act up. An animal can act up. But that does not mean that it's inherently evil. But it must be trained. It must be controlled. If the horse leads, then there is illness. And if someone is ill, perhaps the physician will give bitter tablets, bitter medicine. You must be careful. If ill, there must be a treatment. In our time, that is why people are living in difficulties, because of ego's desires. Separate ego's desires from Allah's desires and move towards Allah's desires. As long as we are intending to be obedient, our ego will be obedient. A person can't intend to be obedient to the Lord and be a slave to their ego. It's important to teach people about their value individually and collectively so that they may treat people well, may treat them as if they are saints with the love of Allah for them. It is impossible to find a human being not carrying at least a little bit of love in their heart. Without love, one can't live, and all have been given something from Allah. As Allah is giving from His endless love, we must give to others, and we are asking from Allah that we may give more love to His creatures and to His servants. So this really, it's at the heart of Islam, really. I mean, understanding that we are here to love, to care, to appreciate people, to appreciate Allah's creation. How are we thankful to Allah and appreciating Allah if we don't appreciate the other people, the other creatures, the rest of the creation that Allah has created? May Allah guide and help us all to understand this and to become better human beings with more love and appreciation for everyone. If you're in the UK, I wish you all a very good evening, wherever you are in the world. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace and blessings of God be with you all.